All right, welcome back, everybody. We're here with Martin Fiesel with A Buyer's Choice Home Inspections. And Martin, it's so cool to have you on because I know that we were at the Krebs Forecast and you had said, Lindsay, you know, we got this really innovative program, and we hear that a lot. So, so I was like, oh, well, okay, we'll sort it out. We'll have you on. I mean, you guys have been a huge supporter of ours. You guys do some of the funnest things. I'm a big golfer, so from between hitting marshmallows and golf stuff, you guys are right up my alley. But you guys, I had a chance to sit down and look at this program that we're going to talk about, and I was blown away. I thought that was absolutely incredible, and I'm so happy you can come on and share that. So thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
So we'll get into some of the cool stuff you do, but in general, realtors have a lot of choices. There's quite a few home inspection companies, a lot of really, really great ones, and you guys do very well. So tell me a little bit about what you guys feel is your thing, value differentiator, why so many realtors, including ours, choose to work with you guys.
Right. Well, thank you. That's a big question. How much time do we have?
Yeah.
12 minutes, Mark.
You know, one of the things that realtors like about dealing with a buyer's choice is our technology, our communication tools. We communicate with, basically there's four main people in a transaction, right? You have your buyer, your buyer's agent, your seller, your seller's agent. And our system communicates very well with all four of these people, sending them notifications of when the inspection is. We have the seller's prep video, which I think we're going to show a little piece of, where we have teaching the homeowner about what to expect in the inspection, how to set up their home for the inspection, so that when the inspection takes place, it's a very smooth, comfortable event, right? Sometimes home buyers or sellers are a little nervous if they've never had an inspection before in their home, so they don't know what to expect. So at least they get this video that, you know, tells them what to expect, and also gets them to prepare the home. You know, they take the hat boxes out of the closet where the attic hatch is, because we're not allowed to move things. They give us the key to the detached garage, so we're not phoning the listing agent halfway through the inspection looking for the key. So it just really makes everything go nice and smooth. And with the Realtor app they have with the Buyer's Choice, they actually will get a copy of the inspection right on their phone.
Wow.
So yeah, so unless the buyer asks us not to send it to them, if they're maybe double ending the deals, that they don't necessarily always get it, but most of the time they'll get it. So, you know, when it comes to just having discussions around it, they have it at the tip of their fingers. If 6 months down the road that client calls them and asks them about that house, that it's hard to remember everything about every house that they deal with. At least they've got it right at their fingertips. So realtors do enjoy just
the technology,
right? Because it's a very smooth
and no one likes
event.
No one likes to wonder what's going on or what to do next. And clients so many times just, you know, they come home and something might be moved a little bit or something. It's like, well, what happened? And so I think that's so important.
But
go ahead.
Sorry, that's actually not the main reason why.
Okay, fair enough.
Really the main reason why realtors like to deal with us is because we were started by a realtor. You know, these systems, when we build them, you know, it seems, wow, this is really nice. And one of the reasons is our founder, Bill Redfern, he was a realtor in St. John, New Brunswick, and Halifax, Nova Scotia. And he started the company because he thought there's got to be a more professional way to do home inspections.
Interesting.
So most everything we do, all of our software that we build, our training, when we train our people, we train them how to explain an issue to a client in a way that doesn't send them running for the hills, right? So everything is built around what he thought a realtor would want in a home inspector and in that whole experience. So that's why most realtors like to deal with us over and over again, because we build that partnership with them. Nice. We're all working together. We say assist, comfort, and protect. We assist in putting that deal together, because quite often there's an offer sitting on the home. People never put an offer on a home they don't want to buy. So we assist in putting that deal together while comforting and protecting all parties involved.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about, because everyone hears about infrared cameras.
Right.
What's going on? Are they required in home inspections? What's the deal?
Yeah, you know, there's no legislation within the licensing in the province of Alberta that says you need to use an infrared camera. I'm not sure how you could do a great inspection without an infrared camera. It's such an important tool for us.
Well, it makes you wonder what they did when technology didn't exist.
Well, really,
I mean, yeah.
Really. You know, a lot of the things that your infrared shows you, you could find by crawling around the attic. You know, you can dig into these places. But boy, it's such a luxury just to stand there and look around the room and say, ooh, what's that? Right? Now you can go look at that. It speeds up the process. You know, going back to us wanting to work with realtors in the way that they like the deal, most realtors don't want to sit all day at a home inspection. And the infrared cameras save so much time because you can pick things off so quickly. And again,
you focus your time on the things you need to focus your time on versus searching for things that might not exist, which is nice.
Totally. So it's a tool that, and you know, most companies, a lot of companies, we don't charge extra for it, so it's just an added benefit of your inspection. But it's very, very important, especially, you know, for cold winters, finding that missing insulation and things of that nature. It's so nice for the new buyer.
Cool. And we're going to share a bit of a horror story about it in a bit here, or I'm going to bring it up when we start talking about new homes, but with infrared cameras. But it's huge. So yeah, I'm glad you guys use them and implement that.
Yeah.
Licensing. Quick question on that. I remember last year sitting in an event with a couple roundtable of home inspectors, and obviously there's some license requirements in Alberta. Chat a little bit about that, but I remember last year there were some proposed massive changes to what they wanted you guys to be able to do, which basically sounded like they wanted you to be like an expert on swimming pools, like insert thing, expert on. Has any of that changed, or as far as your team is concerned, what does the licensing look like?
Right. So there's two. You brought up two actually similar but different points. So first of all, the licensing. There is minimum training requirements for licensing in the province of Alberta. You need a minimum of 200 hours. You need of training. You need to be part of an association like INTRNACHI or CAPI, one of the recognized associations that the provincial government recognizes to maintain your training. So there are requirements there. The minimum requirements for us, you know, don't quite get us there. Like the 200 hours, we actually do 400. Plus, we do 2 weeks of hands-on before they ever get out in front of a customer, because it's such a big decision. You just can't have untrained people out there. So the licensing is a great program, and it really set Alberta ahead of some of the other provinces that don't have licensing, and helped the industry. The other piece you're talking about was the CSA.
Okay.
Yeah, the CSA got in and decided what a home inspection should look like.
Right.
And, you know, it was the first draft, and it was pretty comprehensive. Home inspections would have to be $3,000 and take 4 days on the initial draft.
Yeah, I remember that. That was crazy.
So, which, you know, is fine. You have to start somewhere, and so they identified everything that could possibly come into an inspection, and so there was a lot of discussion around that, and people got pretty excited. It has
that means upset. Yeah. I like that. Passion showed through.
It has been passed now, and if you know, it's not part of the Alberta government legislation that you have to follow the CSA standards. It is a good standard, and it's nice to at least have a bar, so you can look at, you know, what your inspection looks like. So everyone is playing on the same field. It doesn't affect licensing at this point. I don't expect it to, but it is nice to have a Canada-wide document that says, if you're inspecting this, this is what it should look like.
Right.
Cool. Okay, let's get in and talk a little bit about this concierge program, because I've been waiting to show this to people. I think it's super cool. So you have created this program that when we were talking about it before, it helps everyone.
Right.
Tell us a little bit about we got some graphics up on the screen.
Okay, perfect.
We'll also email these out to you guys afterwards. You probably can't read everything necessarily, but take us through what happens.
Okay, so the concierge program, and this is included in each inspection, and what this is for is to protect the buyer for things that happen after the inspection, from the time we inspect the home to the time they move in. Sometimes it can be 60, 90 days in between there. You know, the empty house time quite often. And sometimes some of these appliances, a heater and a water heater, may have been turned off for a couple months even before. We turn it back on, we turn it back off. It sits there for a little while. Works perfectly fine during the inspection. They go in. First time they run the dishwasher, it spews all over the place. right?
Problem. Yeah.
And it's, the inspector couldn't
Yeah.
tell that was going to happen. We don't have crystal balls. And so now, and even the homeowner that sold the house, they didn't know that was going to happen. It's just one of those things.
Totally.
So the concierge program is really set up to pick up all of the stuff that could happen to a home that's unfortunate and protect that buyer against all of those added costs. So the 90 days on the structural of the home includes anything structural that may have taken place, even if the inspector missed something in their report or misreported it, it picks that up. If the furnace doesn't turn back on, when you go to move in because it's been off for a while, or like I say, the water heater or the dishwasher, that's all looked after. There's 5 years on the roof. So if a roof leak happens anywhere 5 years after they buy the house, they'll pay for the cost of that repair. They're not going to replace the whole roof. If it's a 25-year-old roof, they're not going to go and replace the whole roof. They'll repair that problem. The mold guard is really nice because we're not allowed to move furniture, or we're not allowed to move anything really. We sometimes adjust things, but I'll give you an example. You have an armoire against a wall full of clothes. Even with our thermal imaging camera, you can't really see through all of that stuff. Your moisture meter doesn't go 4 feet through clothing, and
Yeah.
So the people move out of the house, they move the armoire, and there's mold on the wall and behind it. For whatever reason, there's no air circulation.
Yeah.
We can't see it. The mold guard will pick that up and pay for the remediation of that mold.
Wow.
Yeah, which is nice. So it's meant to pick up all that stuff that really can be uncomfortable for everybody in the process.
Totally. That's such a cool program, and it gives some more peace of mind to a buyer.
It really does. It really does give
very
them
cool.
peace of mind. Yeah.
Cool. What's next on our list? We have, more sellers are getting home inspections done before they list their homes.
Right.
And in a market where you're going to be competing with so many people,
Yeah.
what does that service look like? How do you guys implement it? What's the advantage?
Right. Well,
It sounds so smart.
we just heard about the market
Yep.
possibly changing, so it does get a little bit more competitive for those listings in these types of markets, and it's one of the reasons why we put this program together with the concierge. Because if you think about it, especially for an older home, if you have an older home and there's going to be things that the home inspector is going to find, it's best to deal with it up front. So we'll go in, we'll do the pre-inspection on the home, we'll give them a copy of the report, so you set your price accordingly to the true condition of the home.
Right.
When the buyer comes in to purchase the home, here's our price, here's the condition of the home. That eliminates that second negotiation.
Right.
Yeah.
If you think about it just from a purely cost standpoint, nothing else. So it costs $600 or $500 for this pre-inspection.
Yeah.
How many people come and negotiate $500 or less off a home sale?
Yeah. No, doesn't happen.
It's going to be $5,000, $10,000,
Yeah,
$20,000.
absolutely.
You know what I mean? It's not going to be $500.
Yeah.
It's not going to be $250.
Yeah.
So they're really safeguarding the price of the home as well as making the transaction go a little bit smoother.
Well, that
Yeah.
negotiation is so nice. I mean, we just, because there was this home that was mildly falling apart, but cute as hell in North Glenville Park, but falling apart. Like, you would have been like, no one's living in this home, but we might have lived in it. Low standards. But it's interesting because, the first thing I said, it would be so great. I mean, can we call the listing realtor? Do you think that they have a copy of a home inspection report that somebody may have had, just so
Sure.
you have some idea what it's getting into? And that would have been a perfect time where they could have been like, the property is priced like this because, make your decisions accordingly.
Well, and tell us, because there's even a service you guys offer beyond that. When the
Right.
buyer comes in, you guys will work with the buyer.
Exactly. And, the pre-inspection isn't new, right? It's been around a while.
Totally.
It hasn't really caught on. It seems to make so much sense.
Yep.
And so we've tried to get some feedback, from the realtors that we work with and the clients. And one of the feedbacks we got was, well, they might still want their own inspection.
Yeah, they want that
right? It's
independent.
Not, they might not
Yeah.
trust you and all of these things, which is fine. So what we decided to do is stand behind that pre-inspection. So what we'll do is when the buyer comes in, we'll actually go in, we'll do a walkthrough with the buyer, we'll teach them about the house like we would on a regular inspection, show them where the water shut-off is. Any of the deficiencies that are in the home, we'll explain those to them and explain to them, you know, what to look for from a maintenance perspective over the next few years. Give them their list, the honey-do list. And
We need that. And we're not even moving.
well, we can come and do a home maintenance inspection for you. We'd love to do it.
Honey-do list.
And then what we'll do is we'll actually get them to sign our contract. So they'll sign a contract with us saying, you know, what the inspection is, and we'll transfer that inspection over to them. So we
Wow.
assume the liability of that inspection. Our $2 million of errors and emissions insurance comes with that, as well as we put the 90-day concierge on it.
So by no means are you representing the seller just because you do a pre-inspection for the seller. So that's just a
Well,
great way to
no.
put it, that this is, we're
Yeah.
signing up on this for all parties involved.
Right. It's just a true representation of the home. It's
Right.
not, that has nothing to do with the buyer or the seller.
Right.
It's, here's the condition of the home.
And we
right?
stand behind.
And we stand behind that so that the buyer can come in with confidence. And then again, we put the 90-day warranty on it. So it makes that transaction just go so smooth.
That is very,
all
very
parties
cool.
involved.
Such a smart decision,
Yeah.
and such a, you know, you talked about the economics of it. Such a smart decision for buyers, or for sellers.
Yeah.
So, go ahead.
No, that's okay.
Put this to rest for us. Do you get a home inspection? Should you get a home inspection on a new home?
Well, and really quickly on that, because obviously there's lots of new homes that have warranties.
Right.
Right.
Well, and it's a new home, right? Everything.
Well,
everything
I
should
think
be.
and I think that's
new.
the thought, because and I don't know for sure, but aren't there regulatory companies that have to come in and sign off and do their own inspection on a new home before it can get sold? Is that true?
There is an inspection. With the new home warranty, the builder actually does that inspection. So the builder's doing their own inspection for the new
For
home warranty.
themselves.
Well, for the new home warranty portion of it. So, you know, the question being, should you get an inspection on a new home? We do quite a few inspections on new homes, and it's surprising what you find. Not that the builders are being negligent or anything, but, you know, we're all human. I've made a mistake, probably made a couple already today. So we find some of those things that they may have missed, which is really nice. It's as important, though, for a new home to get that inspection done before the new home warranty expires. Because after you've lived in the home, you've gone through 4 seasons, you've used, you know, all the washrooms, you've run some water.
Yeah.
That's when some of those things might come up that may not have happened yet on the new home inspection. So
Right.
it's really important to have a look, when's my new home warranty going to expire, and have us go and do that inspection before that
Interesting.
expires, because some of the problems that may be happening, let's just take a common one with where the flashing around a window is installed backwards. So the water's actually running down behind the siding. The Tyvek, the house wrap that they put on, will actually keep that pretty good for the first couple of years. Like, you probably won't notice anything. It'll be 4 or 5 years down the road when the siding starts to get pushed out from the freeze thaw, or the sill rots and the house starts to lean. And that's where the big costs come in. And now the warranty's gone, but that
Right.
problem was actually there while it
Day
was under
one, yeah.
warranty. So if we can pick those things off, they're usually small fixes. Quite often the builders appreciate the fact that we brought them up before it became a problem, so that they're not getting in the news for this
Yeah.
big problem, right? So it's really good for everybody.
Martin, really quickly, are there a couple, you know, you just kind of mentioned one common one, but when you're doing this, are there a few things that are just kind of on your list to look for because you see them a little bit more reoccurring when you do the new home inspections?
Well, the flashing is a real big one. Water is the the biggest problem for a home. Like, just making sure that water is shed away from the house, making sure that it's graded properly, making sure all the insulation's in place. Sometimes insulation could move. Just making sure it's all there.
Right.
And also
You
making
shared that story with me earlier.
Yeah.
And there's no builders here. First of all, just really quickly, it's not like people say, well, what builder did that who forgot the insulation?
Yeah.
Like, the insulation didn't go in. And
At all?
that's trades. Yeah, like, it's like there's trades that, you know, make mistakes and everything else, and you make mistakes in your business too. Do you want someone to judge you for one mistake? So it's not that builders are bad or anything else. I just
No.
think that people make mistakes.
Yeah.
Totally. You know, where we found that home with no insulation in half the attic on a brand new home, the builder was mortified.
Of
you know,
course.
Yeah.
He wanted the best for his client too. It's just, you know, something
Stuff
happened.
happens.
And,
Totally.
you know what I mean? So it's nice to pick those things up early, and before they become a problem. Now you're fixing something.
Right.
If you can just, you know, look after it right away, it makes the whole process go much smoother for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Martin, you're doing some really great stuff, serving your clients well. Thank
Thanks,
you so much.
Lindsay.
We're very proud to have you as one of our
Thanks
preferred
for having us.
suppliers.
Absolutely.
So
Thank you very
we got another great meeting for you guys next week. We're going to talk about some futuristic marketing trends that we saw at Leading RE, which is great. And we got a cool video to take you guys out as well.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you very much. Have a great week. Hopefully we'll be seeing most of you on Saturday.
Awesome. Thanks.
Bye.